I'd love to just get your 30,000 foot view of the news we got this week. And I wonder how you're thinking about pipelines at this point, whether it's the bottlenecks, whether you're expecting news on the production front, the distribution front, or maybe at the back end on the acceptance front.
I think the news on the on the vaccine is great. I think that proves the power of what we in this country can do to address major problems. I wish that would carry over to a lot of other things, but I think this has been a great set of progress. I think what we can't do, and I think what we've been doing all along with antibody tests, with things like the diagnostic test, is we view each as a separate magic bullet. And I think it has to be part of an overall framework, because we don't yet know about these vaccines. How long will people be immune when they get immune? How does it address the disease? Does it tamp down the symptoms? Does it actually neutralize the virus? And in all of those instances, what we continue to need and will always have to have is some sort of diagnostic test, some sort of antibody test, therapeutics, and then vaccines in serial order in a way that creates an overall framework that allows us to stratify the population, who can be immune, who is at risk, what we can do to treat as we go along and understand where people are along that spectrum so we can keep our economy open, keep people at work while we protect, keep America at work while we protect Americans that are at risk.
So when you talk about the firepower, the cooperation, the speed with which this development is happening at the vaccine level, why? Well, I guess I'd ask you first, do you think it's not as powerful on the diagnostic testing mitigation front? And do you think this is a lesson to those areas of healthcare that will change that picture?
Yeah, I think this is where we need a national effort. And this has always been the issue. It's great to create new technologies. It's great to create new ideas in addressing problems. But unless you can execute against them by creating the logistical platform of how do you track, trace, we're going to have to do that with the vaccines. People are going to get 2 doses on this Pfizer vaccine. They need to have them a certain part apart. We don't know how long they'll be immune, so we need to continue to test them afterwards. So we need a whole logistical platform that A, gets the drug safely to where it needs, or the vaccine safely to where it needs to go. Secondly, gets it administered to the American population in 2 doses, tracks how well it's doing and how people are doing. And when immunity stops, how do we know to warn those people and to put them on a list to get signed up for the next vaccine again? And where we have fallen apart across the country is we have not been able to build for this pandemic a complete logistical program that does those sorts of things around therapeutics and vaccines and tests, but also on how we think about creating the capacity in the system to treat people, PPE, hospital beds, right, ventilators, ICU, and personnel.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.